Hello and welcome to another Bodgit and Leggit video. Yes, we have this 2005 Freelander back with us again. We have this lovely Jeep, and I keep calling it a Jeep because it just annoys people. It's a Jeep, get over it. Right, customer's complaint is he kind of hears a whistling noise as he's driving. It's down on power, and sometimes the engine light will come on for a second and then go off, and then sometimes it seems to he almost said like over boosting, and I think the problem is it's not particularly over boosting. I think it's kind of getting its proper power back, which kind of then feels like it is, because it's slow, and then bang, the power kind of comes into it. Now I have plugged it in, and there is a stored code. There's no code at the minute because the engine light is off. It only comes on the odd time. So the problem is a P1E30, which is a boost control valve, which kind of would suggest there's a boosting problem because it does sound like it. But like I said, he can hear a whistling, and when I take it for a drive, I can kind of hear like a high-powered or a high dingy whistle coming out of it. So what I'm going to do, just make it quick and easy, rather than kind of looking at loads of live data and stuff like that and trying to see, you know, if the boost is right and air temperature and, you know, the map sense and all that or whatever it has. So I can hear a loud whistle. So that means somewhere in the turbo system, so intercooler, pipes or something like that, there must be a leak somewhere. So I'm just going to put it on a smoke machine and just quickly see without trying to go into it and make it, you know, quite complicated. Now if we don't find a leak, then I'm going to have to go into live data or do whatever we need to do. If we do find a leak, we will repair it and then we'll take it for a drive and see. We still might have a problem, I don't know. But what we're going to do is we're going to plug it into the smoke machine just because it's quick, easy, fast. We're going to smoke it. We're going to see if there's a leak. If there's a leak, we're going to fix it. We're going to see what happens. Sorted. Right, so I think what I'm going to do is I might disconnect this intercooler pipe here and smoke it through the intercooler, through the pipe, through the intake, and then, yeah, go back that way. That's what I'm thinking about. You can't quite see, there's a pipe down here. I'll disconnect this pipe first here. You can't see it because there's just no room. You see the, you just see the duplicate clip in there. I'm going to put my smoke machine onto there, I think. And let's see what happens. Hopefully it's not the intercooler, because that then, there's nothing you can really do with that apart from replace it. And that's buried. So let's see what happens. I'm going to disconnect that pipe. Once I get everything ready, we'll switch the camera back on. Right, so we've got everything hooked up. I'll just show you what I've got hooked up, and then we'll get on with smoking. Sorted. So hopefully you can see just that red cap down there. So I blocked off the end and with the red cap, and I blocked off this. Well, this is the end where the smoke machine is actually going to go into. You can see the smoke machine there. It's just turning on. So you can't really see. There we go. Look. You see it's just pumping out smoke. So we're going to now put that end into there, and we're going to see. That's the smoke machine I've got. I will be doing a review on that. But yeah, let's smoke this and see what we're going to get. I don't know if you can hear that, but I don't know if the camera's picking up that. I can hear something leaking. Can you hear that? Aha, there we go. I tell you, a smoke machine is brilliant. The amount of things you can do with it is unbelievable. Now, there we go, look at that. Pumping out smoke. Oh, there's our problem. You can just see we have a huge, a huge leak. Now, what I have noticed before, and it's nearly caught me out a few times, when you have a big leak like this, if you've got a really small leak, it's hard to actually catch. So you're going to have to repair the big leak and then re-smoke it to see if you've got any smaller leaks. Because this is a big leak, as you can see. And if there's a, let's say there's a plastic pipe that's split, but it's, you know, it's just split. Well, all the pressure's coming out here. It's not going to pressurize the plastic properly to open up that split to actually see it leak. So be aware of that. Looking at this now, I can see a lot of oil around here. Now you can see a lot of oil around there. It's this pipe here. You just see the big, there we go, look at that. It's rubbing against that bolt there. So, right. Let me see what I can do with this pipe. That pipe goes, where are we looking? All the way down. Oh, you can't see. That looks like it's going to be a bit of a nightmare to take off. Right, okay. I think I've sorted this. Had to wear gloves because the oil and crap around it is just a nightmare. This was the crack we had in the pipe. You can see. Hello. Woo. Massive, huge crack. So what I did is, because to actually try and take off this pipe is really awkward. The bottom Jubilee clip is near the bottom cross member. Well, not the cross member, the slam panel, and just a nightmare. And I can bet your life this pipe is quite expensive. So what I did is I cut out the bad section, as you can see. Now this is taking ages, and be aware of this, just because I kind of got caught with this. I had an idea to cut it out and to get a metal section. Now, when I do exhaust and stuff, I always keep the old exhaust left over for this type of reasons, because it's amazing how, you know, having a big hollow tube, the amount of stuff that can get you out of is unbelievable. So I took off the pipe, this end, this is where the Jubilee kit goes on the actual end of the car there. And what I did was, I found a pipe and I stuck it in and I said, yeah, look, that's a lovely fit. It's nice and tight, it's a lovely fit. But if you look at the pipe, it's actually narrow this end and it widens out. And when I cut it, as you can see, this is just too loose. You can see it's gonna leak. Oh, there we go, yeah, there's a big hole in it. It's just too loose and it will leak. So be careful measuring your diameter. I kind of got caught out there, but you can actually see the difference, hopefully. You can see how the pipe kind of expands out. And not only that, where we had to cut it, there was a slight bend, so a straight bit wouldn't even work. What I got in the end was, I know this doesn't look anything special, but the amount of time it's taken me to get this size right is unbelievable, and there's a slight bend in it. This is the pipe, I actually took it off, and I believe this is off a Mitsubishi Patrol or something like that, I can't remember now, but it's a big exhaust pipe, as you can see, and we had a few bends in it, and lucky enough the bend kind of lined up. So yeah, all that hassle just for this. And what this will actually do is, this is big enough to fit, well, I say it is. This is big enough to fit on there, so as you can see, that goes in there, and you can actually see how much wider the pipe is this end. So what we then do is, this is the pipe, as you can see there's a slight bend to it, so this straight bit, even if it did work, as you can see, it's too straight, so it's not going to work, but as it turns out it didn't work anyway. This will still fit very nicely on here, as you can see. That's still a nice snug fit, as you can see. So you can see the difference. Hopefully the camera's showing the difference, how thick that pipe is internally. I measured that, just be careful. So then all I should have to do is force this down here. Get it down, I don't know, maybe there. Look at that. You see that? Now, I've not kinking the pipe, but you have to make sure you don't kink the pipe. There's no kink in the pipe. It's not touching anything. Yeah, it's not touching anything. It's not kinked, because if it's kinked, you're not going to get full pressure on your turbo. And I think, look at that. Absolutely perfect. Now, the other thing I can see is the metal pipe is rubbing against this, which was initially actually caused that to break. Now it's not going to rub through the metal pipe, but what I might do is I'll see if I can just put some cable ties on this and just kind of pull it out the way a little bit. I'm going to need to get 2 Jubilee clips and put it on there. I'm going to retest it with the smoke machine. It's amazing how much, you know, a smoke machine can help you out. Because once I put this down, if it's leaking, we know it's leaking, it's not sealed properly. So I'm going to re-smoke it. I'll show you that. But a smoke machine is one of them things that it has a world of use, and they are really handy. But anyway, So all I'm going to do is get 2 more Jubilee clips for this, put them on, re-smoke it. The bad bit is out. Save the customer a small fortune, because I have a feeling that pipe could be quite expensive. And even if it's not quite expensive, to actually take it off would be expensive, because the jubilative is just in the wrong place. Anyway, 2 more Jubilee clips, bang it on, hopefully it's sealed, and we'll see if we've cleared the fault. Because we might not have cleared the fault. This is a problem, but we could have another problem, and I don't know yet. The only reason I did it this way is because we heard the whistling noise, so I knew that was an issue. This has to get sorted before anything else. There's no point trying to look at live data or anything like that with a big leak in it like this, because we're going to be getting false readings. So fix it, check the fault code, check the power, and we'll see if we've got it done. Sorted. Okie dokie. Now we can have a Jubilee clip party. Only 5 there. That seems good and strong. We're going to smoke it now to see if it's actually airtight, because if it isn't, it's kind of pointless, but I think it should be all right. And yeah, and then hopefully there's no more leaks, because like I said, that was a big leak. It's nearly caught me out a few times when there's been a really big leak and there's a small leak and it hasn't really been able to catch it. So I'm going to pressurize this again with the old smoke machine, and now I'm going to get questions about this. I will do a separate video on this, but it's a work zug, or zig, and it's a 30891WW, Welsh work zig. So there we go, turn it on, put some air into it, there we go, and see if it leaks. There's a little nozzle, oh, here we, there's a little ball up there to tell you when the system is pressurized, but we should know quite quickly what the story is with it, because within a few seconds before it started leaking. I could always start it up as well to see if we can hear the whistling again, but I just want to put it on the smoke machine just to make sure there's no other, you know, smoke pouring out down there or at the back somewhere or anywhere, or is this plastic part, is that got a problem? So just going to give that a few minutes. I mean, it was leaking already before this time, but I'm just going to give it a few minutes. If I see another leak, we'll turn the camera back on, and yeah, we'll see. Take it for a drive, make sure this all holds up, because the pressure when I'm driving could pop this. These Jubilee clips might not be strong enough. There still could be a few problems yet. I think they're going to be all right, but not sure yet. But we're looking good at the minute. Right, absolutely no leaks. It's been going there for 6-7 minutes, maybe a bit more. No leaks at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that pipe back on, and I'm going to take it for a drive, see if I hear the whistling. I'm going to clear the code before I take it for a drive, see what happens, see if the power is back, see if the whistling stops, and then once I come back, we'll wrap up the video. I can see if I can do this when my battery dies. I'm going to start this up and see if we can hear any whistling, see if everything holds up like it's supposed to. The keys always help. Ah, the battery. Smoke machine on the battery, and the battery's flat. I think they're going to need a new battery. All right, let's give it a rev and see what it sounds like. Sounds good. Take it for a drive and let's see. Right, that's it. I'm going to try and do this so my battery goes dead. It drove absolutely lovely. The first few seconds it was a bit spluttery and there was a bit of black smoke and it kind of cleared itself. If you do have a leak for a long time, you want to be careful, especially with the modern diesels. It's going to clog up your EGR valve. It's going to kind of clog up everything. So don't let it go on too long. There was no point me looking at scan data because this is absolutely fine. When you hear an air leak or something like that, you kind of have to get that fixed first, because that will screw up all your scan data because they won't be reading properly. So you can't really go off any data until you kind of fix the leak We fixed the leak, I took it for a drive, absolutely perfect. Light hasn't come back, fault's been cleared. There you go. Simple fix on this one. Wasn't too bad at all. So look, hope it helps. Thumbs up, subscribe and all that. Don't forget, links up here, links down there. But most importantly, don't forget, get your hands dirty. See you for the next one.